Now, what do we have here? States the law of multiple proportions. States the law of multiple proportions. My dear lovely students, when you want to state any law, according to WAEC and WAEC body, the NECO body, you must ensure that you state it accordingly, the way it is being stated in the textbook. Do you understand what I just said right now? You state the law accordingly, you state it verbatim, word for words, so that you'll be able to get the correct mark. I will display the law on the screen now, but then let's quickly state that law. The law of multiple proportion. The law states that if two elements, let's just say that two elements, element A and B, combine to form more than one compound. If two elements A and B combine to form more than one compound, the masses of one element A, which combine separately with a fixed mass of other element B, are in simple ratio. That's the law. I repeat, law of multiple proportions states that if two elements A and B combine to form more than one compound, the masses of one element A, which combine with a fixed mass of other element B, are in simple ratio. So whenever you see this kind of question in your next exam, that's how to state the law of multiple proportions. Now, let's consider the next question under it. A metal M, note that word, a metal M forms two chlorides. A metal M forms two chlorides, P and Q. Now, a metal M forms two chlorides, P and Q. So that P is a chloride and that Q is also a chloride. And what's a chloride? When we say a chloride just means a chloride is formed when chlorine combines with another element. That's how we form chlorides. Just when you say oxide. Oxide is when oxygen combines with another element. So we have oxides there. Imagine. When a lady is single, we call it Miss. M-I-X-S. But when a lady is married now, you call her Mrs. When a lady is single, you call her Miss. When a lady is married, you call her Mrs. The same thing is what is happening here. When chlorine combined with another element, it forms chlorides. And that's why we have P is a chloride and Q is also a chloride. On analysis, 2.0 gram of P was found to contain 0.69 gram of N and 10.0 gram of Q was found to contain 4.41 gram of N. My dear lovely students, if you see questions like this, the best way to answer it so that you will not be confused is to do it in a tabular form, so that you'll be able to solve it and then you will not be confused when you are solving it. I think you understand what I'm saying right now. Okay, let's quickly do that. Now, when you are given questions like this, the best way for you to do it is to make it in a tabular form, so that it will be easier for you to calculate. Now, the question didn't give us in form of table like this, but for our own convenience's sake, and so that we will not make mistake, it will be good that we do it in this form of table. And this is what I just did. Mass of chlorides, it has been given. You know, I explained the other time that before we can call any compound a chloride, it means that chlorine has combined with that element. Just like say when you say oxides, oxides mean oxygen has combined with another element. So here we are given mass of chloride, which is 2.0, and likewise, you know, we have two chlorides. We have two chlorides there, one chloride P and one chloride Q. So 2.0 gram of chloride P and 10.0 gram of chloride Q. We are given the mass of metal. So the mass of metal is 0.69 gram in the question, and then that for the P, then for the Q, we have 4.41 gram of the metal. Okay, do you know that in the question, they did not specify the mass of chlorine that actually combined to form this chloride? So that's critical thinking, intelligence that we should be able to, you know, draft out the mass of chlorine that actually combined with the metal M to give us this chloride. This chloride is made up of two different masses, the mass of metal and then the mass of chlorine. So what did I do there? I just subtract 0.69 from 2. I just minus it so that we get the mass of chlorine. I did the same thing here, 4.41. We take it away from 10.0 to give us 5.59. Now, having done this, when you are doing this in exam, you earn yourself 2 marks for this table for calculating the mass of chlorine, even though in the question it was not stated. Do you get it? So now let's move on to the next question. If we did not get this, the next question will be extremely difficult for us to calculate. The question is asking us to calculate the mass of chlorine, which combined with 1.0 gram of N. But then, from the analysis, let's see mass of metal N is what? 0.69, which combined with what? 1. Is in gram, 1.31 gram of what? Of chlorine. That is the interpretation of this table. For P or for chloride P, for chloride P, we have this. Okay, now we are calculating the mass of M. The mass of chlorine according to the question. Let's represent it with S gram. S gram of chlorine will combine with what? 1.0 gram of what? Of N, according to the question. So the next thing is that we are going to make X the subject of the formula. And by doing so, we just cross multiply X into bracket X multiplied by 0.69, which is equal to 1.31 multiplied by 1. So the next thing we are going to do there is to divide both sides by 0.69 so that X can stand alone. We cross multiply like this. So our answer there is, so if we do our calculation very well, the mass of chlorine that will combine with 1.0 gram of N is now 1.90 gram for the first chloride. Now let's quickly calculate for the second chloride now. For the second chloride, we have 4.41 gram of metal N combined. This arrow is showing the combination sign, combined with 5.59 gram of chlorine according to the table. Okay, we are still going to calculate S gram of chlorine that will combine with 1.0 gram of what? of n. Just the same thing we did here. You know, we are calculating for q now. Just the same thing we did here. That's what we are going to do here also. Making x the subject of the formula, we are going to have 5.59 divided by, you know, this one multiplied by 1, divided by 4.41 gram. 4.41 gram. So we have 1.27 gram for the second one. Now, if you look at the next question where we've calculated the two masses, the next thing is to determine the ratio. Okay, you know, we have P and then we have Q. Okay, for P, our final answer was 9.0, and for Q, our final answer was 1.227. Now, right here, we are going to divide by the smallest so that we'll be able to get the ratio. Because like this, we can determine the ratio. So when we divide by the smallest, this one is the smallest, which is a 1.27, and then 1.27. Automatically, this one will give us 1, and this one should give us 1.5. Now listen, anytime you are calculating ratio and then you arrive at maybe 0.5, 1.5, 2.5, the answer you got is 0.5. Make sure you multiply the both sides by 2. Not that you are going to round this one up. You multiply both sides by 2, and this one gives us 3, while this one gives us 2. So the ratio of their combination is 3 ratio 2. And the question is not asking the this whether the law of multiple proportion is obeyed or not. Definitely it is obeyed, because we are having 3 ratio 2 as the ratio of their combination. Till I come your way next time. Thanks for watching.